Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome. I'm a specialist in hotel AI and operations, and it's a real pleasure to be here with all of you from Europe Hotel School. We're about to dive into a topic that is fundamentally changing our industry. You see, forecasting in hotels, well, it used to be about experience, maybe a bit of intuition, right? A gut feeling. Not anymore. Today, it's all about the data. So let's get right into it. This quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? For literally generations, we thought of the front desk as the heart of the hotel. But that shifted. The real nerve center now, it's wherever the data lives and gets analyzed. The biggest decisions, the ones that truly impact your bottom line and the guest experience, they're not just happening on the fly anymore. They're born from numbers, from trends, and from some pretty powerful predictive insights. So let's talk about this revolution, because that's truly what it is. We are in a brand new era of hotel strategy. Forecasting is no longer this boring, static thing you do once a month, kind of crossing your fingers. No way. It's now a dynamic, living, breathing process that guides the business every single day, sometimes even hour by hour.
And this slide really nails the difference. On the left, you've got the old world, manually yanking data out of a million different spreadsheets. It was slow, it was painful, and let's be honest, it was full of human error. But look at the right. That's where we are today. It's an automated flow. It uses real-time information to create forecasts that are constantly adapting and changing as new data comes in. It's a total game changer.
So what's behind all this? What's the engine driving this massive transformation? Well, it all comes down to one core idea: the power of integrated technology systems that are all working together perfectly in sync.
The data we need comes from systems you're probably already learning about. First, you've got your property management system, your PMS, which is tracking all the reservations and stays. Then there's the revenue management system, the RMS, which is working on optimizing your pricing. And of course, your financial platforms that manage the budgets. Each one of these is an absolute goldmine of information, but the problem has always been that they operate in their own little worlds, like islands.
And that's where this comes in. The goal is to build bridges between those islands. When these systems are integrated, when they talk to each other, they create what we call a single source of truth. It means your revenue team, your finance team, and your operations team are all looking at the exact same numbers. This integration, it is the absolute bedrock of any modern forecasting strategy. It gets rid of all those mistakes and miscommunications from the past. Okay, so we've got our integrated systems. That's our engine, and it's collecting huge amounts of data. But raw data by itself isn't that useful, right? So how do we turn all that information into smart, actionable decisions? Well, that, my friends, is where advanced analytics enters the picture. The analytics process really isn't as complicated as it sounds. First, we start with that clean, integrated data we just talked about. Then we use predictive models to get a glimpse of the future, to see where things are probably headed. And then comes the really cool part. We can run what-if scenarios. What if a huge concert is announced in town? What if a flight gets canceled? We can actually model the impact. And finally, all of that analysis leads to real strategic action. And let's be really clear about something. This automation, it's not about replacing people. It's about elevating them. It frees up your brilliant human minds from the soul-crushing work of copying and pasting data. It lets your teams focus on what people do best: thinking strategically and making those big picture decisions. All right, so if integrated systems are the engine, what's the fuel? It's the data itself. And just like you wouldn't put cheap gas in a Ferrari, our analytics engine needs high-quality fuel to run the way it's supposed to. This is why the concept of data governance is so incredibly important. Put simply, data governance is just the rulebook. It's the set of processes you put in place to make sure your data is clean, that it's reliable, and that it's consistent across the board. Think of it as quality control for your most valuable strategic asset, because without it, you're just making bad decisions faster. And good data governance really stands on three pillars. First, clear ownership. Someone has to be responsible for the quality of the data. Second, standardized definitions. A term like RevPAR has to mean the exact same thing to every single person in every department. And finally, robust validation processes. These are the checks and balances that catch errors before they can mess up your forecasts. So why do we go through all this trouble? Because of this. A general manager or a CEO simply cannot make a bold million-dollar decision if they have even the tiniest seed of doubt about the numbers they're looking at. Good data governance builds that rock-solid trust, and that trust is what gives leadership the confidence to act decisively. So let's just take a quick step back. We've got a powerful engine with our integrated systems. We've got high-octane fuel with our well-governed data. We have this incredible machine all tuned up and ready to go. But a high-performance car isn't going to go anywhere by itself, is it? What's the final crucial piece of this puzzle? It's the people, the driver. It's your teams, your managers, your analysts. They are the ones who have to get behind the wheel and steer this powerful machine. Because without skilled, engaged people in that driver's seat, the best technology on the planet is just a very, very expensive piece of art sitting in the garage. This is a fundamental truth that goes way beyond hotels. You can roll out the most sophisticated tool in the world, but if your team doesn't get how it works, if they don't see why it's better, and if they don't trust the answers it gives them, they will just ignore it. Or worse, they'll find clever ways to work around it. Success here is all about managing change effectively. So how do you make sure it's a success? You invest in your people. That means giving them comprehensive training so they feel confident and empowered. It means clear and constant communication about the goals, the why behind it all. And it means actively building trust, listening to their feedback, and proving that the new system works day in and day out. Okay, let's wrap this all up. Understanding this modern approach to forecasting, this isn't just a lesson for a class. This is a critical strategic advantage that is going to set you apart in your careers. So, if there's one thing you remember today, make it this toolkit. Modern forecasting isn't just one thing. It's the powerful combination of these four elements working together. You need the integrated systems as your engine, the advanced analytics to see the road ahead, the data governance for clean fuel, and maybe most importantly, the engaged people to actually drive the car. And I'll leave you with this final thought to carry with you. As technology and AI get better and better at handling the what will our occupancy be next week, your value as the future leaders of hospitality will come from mastering the why and the what if. Why is the forecast showing a dip? And what if we launch a new promotion? How could that change our path? That is strategy. That is leadership. And that is where you are all going to shine. Thank you.